New data released by the CDC shows Georgia ranks as the worst in the nation for deaths of expectant mothers. The CDC also says black mothers in Georgia are twice as likely to die due to birthing complications than white mothers. Now, a CDC scientist's postpartum death is the inspiration behind a new tool to help fight racial disparities in this area of healthcare, and it's providing virtual support to black mothers. People to People's Nicole Carr has the story.
Intellectually, I knew she wasn't coming home, but my heart refused to accept it.
Days turned to months, turned to years, but each afternoon, Wanda Irving stared out of the window, rocked her granddaughter Soleil, and waited for her daughter to return home.
Had they just paid attention, listened to her, believed what she was saying, and even if they had just put her in the hospital for observation.
It's been 4 years since Irving lost her daughter, Dr. Shalon Irving, to complications from childbirth that ended her life 3 weeks postpartum.
She had gold-plated insurance. She worked at the CDC. She was an educated, intelligent, professional woman, but yet and still she was treated as if she were poor, Black, uninsured, and just not one to be believed, valued, or trusted.
Dr. Irving, a 36-year-old CDC epidemiologist and health equity champion, had an overall healthy pregnancy and what her mother calls a textbook delivery, but also took medication for a blood clotting disorder. Her fertility journey included surgery to treat uterine fibroids. Following a C-section delivery, a lump grew in the area of her incision. It was drained but wasn't healing. Her blood pressure spiked, headaches became unbearable, and the swelling in her legs needed attention. She'd gained 9 pounds in 10 days. Each of at least 7 medical visits ended with her being sent home with nothing more than blood clot medication prescription.
And all they did was pat her on the head, and it's like, it's okay, you just had a baby, don't worry about it, it's gonna be all right.
The last ER visit, 21 days after giving birth, ended with doctors telling Irving to take medicine and call days later if she still felt bad. While pumping milk and talking to her mother and looking at her daughter, Dr. Irving passed out in her Sandy Springs home that day. In cardiac arrest, she was brain dead by the time they returned to the hospital.
I will always carry the guilt that I did not say, look, we are not leaving this place until somebody does something for my daughter. But I didn't, and most because Shalon had cautioned me in the past, Mom, don't get upset because I know how you are, and then it's just going to be considered an angry Black woman, and they're not going to do anything. They're just going to probably escort you out of the hospital. So I held my tongue, and I'll have to apologize to her when I see her that I didn't do more.
Today, Wanda Irving raises Soleil in that home. Eventually, she began telling Dr. Irving's story.
I knew that at some point, Soleil was going to ask me, well, Nona, my mommy had to die because she wasn't listened to or believed. What did you do to keep that from happening to some other mommy?
Now, through a newly formed nonprofit, Dr. Shalon's Maternal Action Project, their Believe Her app, a virtual safe place in 54 languages for Black mothers, the birthing community, and caretakers left behind to connect, address challenges, and relate to others who have walked a mile in one another's shoes. It also joins forces with mental health care providers. Nicole Carr for People to People.